Good morning, guys. The previous class we discussed about up to this visual hierarchy, like visual formatting, and we'll see this visibility properties, and we see display properties, and we learned clear clear properties, clear left, right, and clear fix. I'll explain this clear fix later, and we discussed about this float properties. So in this session, I would like to explain. So here I'll just write width and height properties. Width and height properties. Along with that, CSS icons and CSS links and CSS list items. So coming to this width and height attributes. See here, width and height attributes are used to set the height and width of the an element. So height and width and height are the CSS properties used to set the width and height of the element, and we can use this auto. So we can also write the values like auto, height, width auto. So here, auto is the default value. It is browser calculated, like the browser will be calculated like height and width. You can write this with auto, and we'll just provide this length there. Length means what are the values you can provide in this height and width there. So in this length, it defines that height and width in pixels, centimeters, millimeters, like this. So we can also provide these percentages, like, so these are the length we can available in this height and width. So we already seen this height and width in this HTML onwards. I don't want to explain particularly height and width there. And one thing we need to discuss there, what is the difference between this width and max width? Width and max width, and mean width here, and height and mean height, mean height. So these are the concept available in the CSS, like what's some width and max width. So width is a fixed width. Like if you give this width, it will be fixed here. And whereas the max width, so max width all this is fixed width. So we are writing this max width, max width 700 pixels. So it tells that if you give this max width 700 pixels, it gives that. So it is a responsive, like it is a responsive for smaller devices. So it is calculated like, so for your understanding, I'll just write there. So max width 700 pixels means, so 1 to 699 pixels it will manage. So apart from that, it will won't manage. So if you give this max width, it will work fine with smaller devices like 1 to 699. Whereas if you give this min width there, so min width about 700 pixels or 701 pixels, like this. So if you give this min width 700 pixels, it will calculate it as 701 pixels too. So laptop default size is 16 pixel, like 16 inches, right? So here we have nearly 1600 pixels is here. So it will take this 1600 px. See, like this min width and max width will be calculated. So max width, if you given that maximum width is 700, a minimum it will go from 1 to 699. We are setting this, we are setting the property, and min width we can write this 701. Min width means above 700 up to the 600. So like this we can calculate this height and also a width here. I'll show the example, I'll show this example there, how this min width and max width will be work. Now let me open this Visual Studio. So here I'll just create a new program. You can say this program. So, okay. So here I'll just save this one as width and max width. So I'll just save this width.html. Now I'll change the title. Width and max width. So here I take the div. I take the div and I'll just provide this 5 lines. I'll provide the class name outer one. So for this one, I'll just apply this internal style sheet. Take the style tag. So in the style tag, you'll just write outer. For the outer, I'll provide there border 3 pixels solid, blue, with 500 pixels, and the padding I'll just give 20 pixels. Now similarly, I'll just do with this same. I'll copy this one. I'll paste it there. I'll just write outer one. Now you just give this to red, change this border to red color, and instead of width, I'll just provide max width. Max width here. I'll just provide this to 700 to 700. Now I'll just provide here also. I'll just provide. Now I'll take these 2 paragraphs and I'll take this styles as a here. I'll just run this one on the browser. Just open this on default browser. Now we'll just place this one here. Now look at this one. So here we just place this. Sorry. Now I'll place these two divs like blue border and red border. Now what is the difference between these two? Now width is a fixed. Like if you want to reduce the screen size, we reduce the screen size. Look at this one. I'll just reduce the screen size. Now they refine this difference there. See here, if you want to reduce this screen size, look at this width and max width difference. Look at this one. So it will adjust by setting the content. See max width in the smaller devices, it will be the responsive. So whereas the width is a fixed width, right? If you see this one, look at this one. So width won't compromises here. So it is a fixed here. That is the difference between a width and max width. And min width, it is min width is for if you write this min width instead of max width, if you write this min width 1900. Now look at this one. So I'll just reload this page. Reload this page. Now it will be responsive over the in the large screen devices. That is the difference between width and width and max width